All right, guys. So I'm doing the, you know, uh, recording this trade live because I want to show that how to short a strong stock. So, in the first video, I talked about how to not short a very strong stock. In this video, I want to talk about how to short a very strong stock. So as you see here, we had this ROKU very, very strong at the open, and we talked about how you can actually go long. And now what I want to talk about is how we can actually short that. So on a 15-minute chart, what we have right now here is on a 15-minute chart, as you see a stock in the previous section, I'll talk about that how the 15-minute chart is so strong, and now we're getting into a really toppy area. We see a lot of dojis and undecision candlesticks, and eventually we see a start making a new 5-minute low. But when is a good entry on that, and how to can actually have the risk to reward? A good entry on that would be when the moving average crossover is happening. On a 1-minute chart, right now we have a 9 moving average, 20 moving average, and 50 moving average. They're all crossing. So if you want to have that, let me actually make this color coded so it's much easier for people to see. The 9 moving average, let's put it this color. The 20 moving average, let's move it this color. And let me actually have 50 moving average. I'm gonna have that a different color, like this color, so it can become obvious. So as you see, the moment that these moving averages are crossing over, it can be possibly a good short entry, if and only if you have confirmation on a 15-minute chart. So what I did here, I went short a little bit earlier because I kind of jumped the gun a little bit earlier, and as you see here, my entry was right at this stage before we actually see the 50 moving average comes on top of the other moving averages. So as you see, the 50 moving average has to be on top of 9 and 20. So that's 9 and that's 2. That's 20, and this one is the 50 simple moving average. So we want this to be on top of the other moving averages. So I jumped the gun a little bit earlier, and that was my mistake on entry. But I put my stop loss above near the high of the day. So I just gave it a little bit of room to see if the stock is coming back and testing the high of the day. Then I'll probably would get stopped out here. I didn't get a stopped out, so I think possibly I want to get into a good risk to reward, all the way down to the VWAP and even below the VWAP. So stock did bounce back on a 1-minute chart. It came down, and then it started. This was the moment that I really should have gone short, or maybe adding to my position. And then it started coming down at 110.25. That was my first partial. Stock bounced back, and here's the thing, that I added my share to my position. I really saw that it's losing it and start trading down, so I added to my share here just to capitalize, so you get a very big size. But you don't have to do that. I mean, even without adding this here, you can still have possibility to get to 110 and even to VWAP. I think a possibility of getting to VWAP below VWAP 109.50 is still very high. So we are really moving toward the VWAP and below that. So I have another order to cover right at 109.50. So I'm actually hoping to get to 109.50 for another 1,000 share, which is a big size, by the way. But we don't want to really talk about the sizes here at this stage. So. So if you want to analyze the risk to reward here, so this is my entry. The risk was near the high of the day, and the reward we're getting into the 2 of 2, almost the 2 to 1. Although my entry was not perfect, this is the bad entry. A much better entry would have been here when the actually 50 moving average comes on top of 9 and 20, and it is in the classes. Carlos is teaching that, and he possibly can actually make a video on that. So stock did came down. This add that I add on my position on a 5-minute chart, we are really losing it. It's below the 9 and 20. So this is the 9 moving average and 20 moving average. How do I know which one is which? Sorry, actually it's the other way around. This is 9, this is 20. The smaller the moving average is very close to the price. And the entry that I had here was almost a new 15-minute low. And again, I didn't have a perfect entry on this stock. I'm still hopeful to get into the VWAP. May not get into the VWAP. Sometimes these stocks do that. Sometimes they come test the VWAP. Just bounce before the VWAP. But now my stop loss is at break-even point. So my stop loss would be at break-even point. I'm not gonna really go negative on this stock. So if it goes above this, I'm going to get stopped out. So I just wanted to say, show you, and if you want, by the moment that I went short, I really didn't see this double top. But this double top on a 5-minute chart, if you were not making that trade or if you were not in there, this double top is still a very good indication to go short. As you see on a 5-minute chart, you have a double top. So you see there's a lot of patterns and signals and indicators at the same time confirming a trade for you. So crossover of these moving averages. So this crossover of moving averages, new 15-minute low, and this double top on a 5-minute chart. So they're all signaling reversal. There is, I think there is also an indicator that you can actually put in DAS. Also has an indicator that whenever the crossovers happen, there's a signal from DAS. Also, Trade Idea has that. I think possibly you can define a scanner when the stock is crossing over the moving averages, so you can actually get a signal. You can define the parameter in a way that you can get these signals. Having said that, yeah, so I'm just holding and see if I can get into the VWAP. I don't want to record it much longer, but if any news and any new feature would happen in that, I'm gonna record another video. Have a good day, guys, and I'll see you in the chat.